We must remember that Jesus was not a mere spirit being in some figment of someone's imagination, for he had constituent parts of a human personality and anatomy. He is said to have body, soul, and spirit. In addition, we find through the gospel accounts that he exercised human emotions, getting angry at the unrighteousness, being sorrowful. He showed having physical wants of being hungry, thirsty, and falling asleep. Now, hanging upon the cross, many had seen him suffering, human suffering and death. Now, it is clear that the Bible portrays Jesus as both God and man. Jesus was different to man in that he had a spiritual conception, as affirmed in Luke chapter 1 verse 35. He was conceived of the Holy Spirit, born of the Virgin Mary. He was the sinless Son of God. Jesus assumed an impersonal nature, a human nature that is. His personality was his divine and his eternal personality, his two natures being united in one undivided and indivisible person. The human nature was received into the person of the Logos. Now, to sum up Jesus' makeup would be that he is not God indwelling, nor man raising to the power of deity, but God-man. For in him the whole fullness of the deity dwells bodily, and thus Jesus is not God in man, nor man in God, but God-man, the one being. Now in Philippians chapter 2 verse 6 to 8, Paul confesses the full and complete humanity of Christ, who, though he was in the form of God, did not count himself equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men. And being found in human form, he humbled himself, and by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on the cross. So in Hebrews chapter 2 verse 14 it states, "Since therefore the children share in the flesh and blood, he himself likewise partook of the same thing, that through death he might destroy the one who has the power of death, that is, the devil." The two verbs representing the concept of sharing in the verse, the first one, share, suggests an idea in common and yields the emphasis upon the sharing in the common nature of human beings possess. The tense of the verb suggests that they have always shared these common qualities. The second verb, rendered a partook, referring to Jesus Christ's incarnation, suggests that the nature he took was an additional nature for him. It is that which by nature he had nothing in common until the incarnation, for he was eternal Son. The tense underlines the historicity of the assumption of the nature that Jesus Christ betrothed himself to the human race for better or worse forever. So in Hebrews chapter 2 verse 17 it states, "Therefore he had to be made like his brothers in every respect, so that he might become a merciful and faithful high priest in the service of God, to make propitiation for the sins of the people." Christ is not two, but one, and that not by conversion of the Godhead into flesh, but by taking on manhood into God.